What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Lake Dawson on the Lake Dawson Morning Show here in New York City, baby. It is now April 16th, 2017, and it is 7:23 a.m. Get your game face on. You know what I'm saying? Well, today, guess what? Got my Lacoste on, baby. Ooh, wrong way. Got my Lacoste on, baby. Killing it, and getting it. This is how we do it. Ooh. But today is Sunday. Hope you got your coffee in. Hope you got your tea in. Hope you got your bacon and eggs in. Hope you got your French toast on. You know, it's going to be 80 degrees today in New York City. So hopefully this morning you got up early. You did your little jog by the water. You know, you up doing what you got to do. Some people have to go to work today. Sorry to hear that, baby. But guess what? Every day is a grind. It's okay. It's all right. This is what we do, baby. This is what we do. I need to go and get a haircut. That's what I need to do, to be perfectly honest. But it's all good. That's not here or there. You know what I mean? That's neither here nor there. Anyway. Today is Sunday. We dealing with Sell Sunday. So today on Sundays, what I do is I go over some properties. I'll go over one property. I'm not going to make this a long show, but I'll go over one property for you, a deal, and explain to you how the process works, especially if this is your first time purchasing a home, if this is your first time going into real estate. This is why I'm here, baby. You understand? So this is the other reason why I started my marketing and PR firm for real estate investors, real estate agents, and brokers as well. Okay, so just to give you heads up, the company name is the Diamond Blush Group LLC. You can reach us at theblushgroup.info. That's easy to write. It's theblushgroup.info. Boom, that's it. You can go to the website, send an email. We'll be able to respond to you immediately. You know, ask any questions that you have. As you all know, I have a YouTube channel. It's Lake Dawson TV. I'm an author of about 9 books now. I'm going on my 10th book. And this whole situation is about growth, right? It's about continuous movement. It's about what's the next phase in my life? What's the next steps in my life? What's the steps that's going to get me to where I want to be? I'm tired of looking at magazines and seeing all these wonderful homes that I can't afford. It's time for me to get to that next level. How do I do that? The only way you could grow to the next level is knowledge, baby. That's the only way you're going to know how to do it. So this is why I'm here, baby. So subscribe, like. You understand what I mean? Leave a comment at the bottom, and maybe you'll go and get something for free. Maybe you get one of these free Lacoste hats. You got a little thing in the back, put your little bun up. You know what I'm saying? And then you might end up getting a book bag or something like that. Hey, baby, you never know. You never know. Tell your friends about us too. You know, you might have some friends or family that are interested in purchasing a home, or they want to sell their home or something to that effect, and they're trying to figure out, dang, what do I do? Do I really need a real estate agent? Do I need a lawyer? Like, what's the process? Or a family member have passed away and they left the house. You don't know what to do with the house. You don't want to keep the house. Like what you should do? Send me an email. I'll help you out, baby. Send me that email. All right? So let's go into this quickly. First things first. This is what I want to tell you. If you want to step your knowledge game up, if you want to step the whole aspect of your life to 10x, go to grantcardone.com, pick up that 10x rule book, get you a couple seminars in. Understand and learn from the people who have already done it. That's the key. You need a mentor. Sometimes you can't afford or have time to actually go sit down with one, but that's what the videos are for. You understand what I'm saying? This is what you need in order to grow. Second thing is, grab you this, The Economist magazine. This is a good magazine. It's a good read. You understand? So you got to sit down sometimes and take a look at what people are writing in these books. These are important aspects of your life that you need to upgrade, baby. It's time for an upgrade. Upgrade your life. You understand? I might change this to Upgrade Sundays, baby. Upgrade, you know. Shoot, go from crawfish to lobster, bro. You get it? You get what I'm saying? You know, go from the indoor football league to the NFL. You understand what I mean? Go to international. Do what you have to do to get what you want to get. Okay? It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. This is your life. This is your world. It's time for you to grow. We want you to grow as a whole. You understand what I mean? You've been living in the PJs for so long. And look, don't get me wrong. I used to live there a long time ago when I was a kid. It's time to change that. It's time to move forward. It's time to move up. The environment that you live in is not the place that's holding you back from accomplishing your goals. The only one that's doing it is you. You understand? And I know the ego and the mind will frustrate you and will keep you where you are. It might even have you in its grasps. But guess what? It's an even better feeling when you've unhinged the grasp. You understand what I'm saying? And you are currently moving forward in your life. You understand? Put down the weed, baby. Put down the weed. Get your mind right. Put down the other bad drugs. You understand? Put down the liquor. Maybe once in a while you could drink a little champagne wine. But if you're overdoing it, is what I'm saying. And that goes from all aspects. That's your prerogative. Do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, from experience, you want to grow past that. Okay? That is the point. You want to grow past that and above that and beyond that and understand that when you get to a next level, there's only certain people on that next level. You understand what I mean? So you want to get to that point as well. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go into this real estate, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into this real estate. So say, for example, you've been looking for a property to purchase. The first time you've done it and you're trying to figure out like what's going on, how do I start this process? First thing you need to do is you need to go and check your credit score. That's number one. Check your credit. Make sure your credit is 650 or above, right? And then make sure that there's nothing that there's no blotches on your credit report as well. If there's something on your credit report that you have to pay back, that's in a negative standing, then you have to make it positive. Turn it into a current positive standing situation, okay? When you turn it into a positive standing situation, what ends up happening is it begins to increase your credit score, okay? Now, if you have student loans like I do, then you would want to start paying off those student loans and keep the student loans current. You understand? That way, it'll increase your credit score as well, all right? That's the first step. The second step is you take a look at some properties. You see what price points you're looking at. And first find your property. See, some people, they go to the bank first. Excuse me. Some people go to the bank first to find out if they could get the loan. But guess what the bank is going to ask you? Well, what do you make every year? And have you found the property that you're looking for? You understand what I'm saying? Because all they're there to do is give you an offer letter saying, okay, we're willing to give you this amount of money based off your income and experience. Boom. That's it. Or we can't do it because of this, that, and the third, right? So a professional investor, for example, he would already go to the bank with the document that gives the price points of the property and the return on investment at the end. This way, the bank knows, okay, this guy's a professional or this girl's a professional. She or he brought in these documents. The numbers look good. Let's look up this property and see what's going on. And if the property doesn't have any liens on it, that's the other thing. You have to make sure the property doesn't have any liens on it. Make sure you get an inspector to come in and inspect the property. If someone had inspected the property prior to you going to the property to look at it, then find out from the real estate agent that you're working with. If you decide to work with a real estate agent, find out from them what the previous inspector wrote down in the documents. They'll be able to get that information for you, okay? And then also get a contractor. Look up several contractors, 5 or 6 contractors. Allow them to go into the property, take a look at the property. If it needs to be renovated, find out what the price point is for the renovation of the property. If it's a RIO, like that kind of thing, okay? Once you figure all of that information out, you go to the bank with the document that tells you how much everything's going to be. And then it has the asking price of the loan that you're interested in getting. So what they'll do is they'll calculate everything, and some of them put it into a computer system that does a calculation for them on their own. But let them do that after the fact once you have your stuff. And then if this is your first time purchasing a property, which it probably is, you want to go ahead and look up, ask them if they offer the FHA loans or the Fannie Mae Home Path. Okay. And then you can also go to HomePath website. It's homepath.com, where they'll have a list of properties across the United States that are either bank owned or are doing a 3 to 3.5%. HomePath, I believe the minimum is 3%. FHA, the minimum is 3.5% in terms of down payment. Okay. And with HomePath, it's awesome because if you plan on moving into the home, you'll receive first look and first dibs on the sale. So you could put your offer in before anybody else decides to do that. And once you do that, they'll allow you to come to the property, take a look at the property and all of that stuff. And then you go ahead and do your due diligence with the contractors and the inspector and all of that. Now you do have to put an offer letter in. Offer asking, hey, you could see the property before you put the offer in. Obviously, that is definitely, that's what you want to do. And then ask the individual, are there any liens on the home? Ask the individual, has there been any leaks in the past? Because if you don't ask these questions, they may not tell you. Okay, so you have to be mindful of that. And then you also need a real estate attorney to close this deal. Okay, so you want to. Usually the bank already incorporates all of this stuff into the bank loan itself, but you want to incorporate that into your numbers as well, and utilize the PITI, which is the principal, interest, the taxes, and insurance of the property as a whole, of the county as a whole. And then once you get those numbers, you find out what the ROI is going to be, return on investment, at the end, right? So you need to first find out what the ARV is going to be, after repair value of the property, right? So you find out what the property is being sold for now. You find out what the property price of the land is from the price of the home, and then you find out if the individual selling it are they selling it for a profit, or are they just selling it to get off their books? Are they just selling the land itself, or are they selling the land and the house together? In terms of price points, some banks, they'll go and just sell the price of the land and not sell the price of the house. So with that being said, you'll come off better if that is the case, and you're doing renovations and you find the comparables in the neighborhood, properties in the neighborhood that recently sold that are similar to the property that you're purchasing, right? So you get the comparables, and then you find out, okay, there's a 2-unit property for $149 that sold, a 2-unit property that sold recently for $350,000. You look at the pictures, you notice that everything in there is renovated, everything is new, it's a big backyard, and it's similar to the one that you have. The only difference is yours is not renovated, and they're selling yours for $149. Right, so you negotiate the price point, you bring the contractors in and everything, and say, for example, once after renovation, you find that you could utilize the basement as a new unit. Right, so you renovate the basement, and then you could go ahead and sell a property for more than $350,000, which is what the comp was saying that was the last one had sold for. Now you could sell it for a 3-unit price point, right? And the 3-unit price point could be sold for $400,000, $425,000, $450,000. You understand? Or what you could do is you could go ahead and rent out the 3 units. The first 2 units would be $1,200 a piece, as there being 2 bedroom, 1 bathrooms, and then the basement unit could be sold for $800 a month, separate from the garage in the backyard, which you could add an extra $50 to $100 on top of that for the person that lives in the basement. Okay, so once you get the calculations done and you find out that, oh, hey, look, I'm making a total of $3,300 a month on this deal if I sell it for $350,000, $450,000. I'm bugging out. I'm so sorry. If you rent it out, not sell it, but if you rent it out for that amount, every month you'll receive a return of $3,300, and then you do your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on that property, and they'll give you the price point, which it may be like, depending on where you live, it may be like between $800 and $1,200 a month, and then you have the rest of the money. So let's say it's $1,200, then you subtract the $1,200 from $3,300, and the difference is what you'll have in your return at the end. And then what you want to do after you finish either selling that property or renting the property out, you could put a lien on the property to the bank and get another loan for the price, the value of the property, which if you once you renovate it and everything and the property's value comes up to about $400,000, now you could get a loan for $400,000 or $450,000, and you could probably purchase another property in that same neighborhood for that price point. You now have a higher down payment that you could put up if you decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and sell the property for $400,000 to $450,000. You go and sell the property and then give the bank the rest of the money that you owe them, which would be whatever the total cost was for the loan. So if, say, for example, you purchased a loan for, you decided to get a loan for the 149, right? But you needed to do renovations and everything, so you got a loan for $250,000. So you got a loan for $250,000. You did the renovations and everything went perfectly. Which there's always going to be forks in the road. But once you do that, then you go and sell it for $400,000 instead of selling it for $250,000. You sell it for $450,000. That's an extra $200,000. Okay, so you get the property sold to an investor, and they negotiated to 425, right, or 415 or something like that. So you take that, you pay the bank their $250,000, and now you're sitting here with a stack of money in your hand. Make sure you go and do your taxes, unless do your taxes. That's what. Make sure you take care of your taxes, and you're gonna be able to write off all of this stuff for renovation and the whole dip or whatever. But just know that make sure you do the taxes on it, because if you wait till the end of the year, they're gonna try to tax you like crazy, and you probably would have already spent the money by that time, that extra $250,000. But if say when you do that, you do receive a return of $250,000, you will go and take that money and find a bigger place, right? Whatever you do, whatever money you get, my suggestion is do the taxes. After the taxes, before the taxes, take 10% out. It's the 30% kickback. So give the 10% of the $250,000 to a charity of your choice. Put another 10% into the bank, into a savings account that you're not going to touch, and then put the rest of the money into another investment. Okay, and then you'll have enough money to put down on a bigger property, maybe a building, maybe a 6 to 8 unit, or maybe a 10 unit a co-op, a condo, a complex, or something like that. You understand? Or you may be able to find another property that have more units in it, another home that have a higher amount of units. So the one that you recently had was 2 units, and then you added 1 unit to make it 3 unit, and then you increase it in value. You were able to get back $250,000. You could also just reinvest the money as well. You don't have to do the 10-10-10, but you could also reinvest the money back into a new project. Once you get the hang of the numbers and know exactly what you're working with, and cash is king, you'll be able to take that $250, find your new property in a decent neighborhood, probably a better neighborhood. You may want to work within the same neighborhood, because now that you've purchased a property in the neighborhood, the people in the neighborhood know you. Begin to know your next door neighbors, like that kind of thing. And then they may help you out. They may say, oh, I know so-and-so who's selling their home down the block. Or I know this investor who's selling the building down the block. And, you could put the $250,000 as a down payment for a 20-unit property. You understand? A 20 or 30 unit property. Or what you could do is you could go back to the bank, get another loan, show them that you have the $250,000 in the system, and say, look, I want a loan for, I don't know, $500,000 or something like that. And then you would take that $500,000, and based on whatever negotiation you and them do. But you would take that money, you would find a building, something with more units where the numbers look right, the cap rate of return looks good. And what you would do is give them the down payment. Maybe the down payment for that is $100,000, maybe it's $150,000 as a down payment on the property for the loan, and then the total purchase will be brought back for the to the bank. And then you go ahead and do that whole process. If the building needs renovation and all that stuff, obviously you incorporate that into the loan. Same thing, same difference. If for example, you need to increase the space in each apartment, if you need to make the bathrooms bigger, if you want to renovate the walls, maybe the building is a pre-war 1943, you want to make sure all that stuff is taken care of. Renovate it, find the comps in the neighborhood for buildings similar, and make sure the numbers look right. Make sure there's no liens on the property. Again, like I said, make sure you go and deal with a real estate attorney. By that time, you should have enough money to have an attorney on retainer, and then you go and you do that. Then you could also get underwriters, people that that have some money that are interested in investing in real estate as well. You could work with that. Or if you decide that that's not even what you want to do, you could also go into a passive income situation where you work with a real estate investment trust. But in that case, the taxes and stuff are a little different when it comes to that. So you might want to look into it. You could give the lowest amount I've seen was $500, and then you get I think it's like a 3.5% return or something like that every month or something to that effect. Is it like a dividend of some sort involved with that? Right, so you wanna go into those situations knowing what you're doing, okay, and growing as you're doing it as a whole. Like I said, if you have any questions, you need some answers, go ahead and send a message, leave a comment at the bottom, and I'd be happy to answer the questions for you. Okay, this is Lake Dawson on the Lake Dawson TV show, YouTube, baby. I'm gonna start up some live videos. That way you guys can get on and get a banger, and whatnot. This way we can move forward. We can help you with growth in your life. Anybody who's a real estate agent, real estate broker, or own a real estate company that needs real estate marketing, social media marketing, public relations help, send us a message, michael@theblushgroup.info, or you can go to our website, theblushgroup.info, and we'll definitely get back to you immediately. Okay, you all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.